Alright, hello everyone. Today is September 23rd, 2025. So, there's been a few weeks since my last video. So, I'm going to try to catch us up from the end of my last video to where we are right now. So, I'm going to start by saying that we need more officers on more games if y'all want to expand to more MMOs. Now, if you don't want to be an officer or you have real life stuff to do, that's fine. I'm not going to force anybody to be an officer, but at the same time, that doesn't really help me. So, if you want more games, more MMOs, I know some of y'all have petitioned for like Blue Protocol Star Resonance or Amazon's New World, then I need more people helping me. Otherwise, it's just not going to be plausible. So, now let's talk about some of the MMOs that we already have. So, ESO, I feel like there isn't really much to say about ESO, so we're going to go ahead and omit that in this video. You can try my next video in case something happens. Ion Ascend, I feel like we're pretty much done with, as you can see. I took this screenshot right before I started filming, and as you can see, I haven't even been on in the past 17 days until today. And then when we take a look at the roster for the Legion in Ion Ascend, see, a lot of people haven't even been on for a month or just shy of. Now, this is not to say that we're done with Ion Ascend forever. That does not mean we're not going to do Ion 2 in the future. But honestly, at least for now, we're pretty much done with Ion Ascend. Um, we'll see how that goes. Um, the Silverfrost Mountains update did come to Blade and Soul Neo, and that's good. I've been spending the past, like, basically ever since it came out to about yesterday or the day before that, running through all the main story and the new one-time side quests. I've gotten all that done. I've been doing the Crimson Legion dailies, so I definitely do think that Solar Frostbound's, beyond a shadow of a doubt, has been a very welcomed addition to Blade and Soul Neo. And we're gonna look forward to the next chapter. Honestly, I can't remember which one it was, and I'm not gonna. I think I know which one it is in the Blade and Soul story, but I'm not gonna say it out loud for spoilers. So that'll be it for Blade and Soul Neo. Next, let's talk about PAX Day. I know, I know, it's not the most popular game anymore, and honestly, a lot of you have moved on, but there are still some of you that play this game, and just for y'all, I'll start talking about it. These articles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 articles to read through from PAX Day. If you don't want to sit here and listen to me read through all these, feel free to use the visuals in this in the video timeline to skip through this, and then we'll just move on from there. So let's see. September 5th, 2025. New PvP system clarifications. Hello, Paxians. Thank you for the constructive and interesting discussions about the latest announcement regarding the new PvP system. We've heard your concerns about PvP participation and want to be transparent about our approach. In PAX Day, PvP is intended as one of the core drivers of the economy in the living world. Territory control, wars, and conflict create demand for crafting, gathering, trade, and cooperation. They help keep the game meaningful and alive over time. To be clear, PvP will not be mandatory, but will have an impact on other areas of the game and will affect PvE players in other ways. Trade between Leonese and the home valleys will be essential for everyone to thrive. Our vision is that the benefits of territory ownership, tax income, and other war objectives belong to the players and clans who rise to meet the challenge and accept the risks in full. Victories and rewards should feel like actual achievements earned through courage and commitment. These rewards exist to inspire players to accept the full weight of risk and conflict, turning the struggle for territory and power into something thrilling and worthwhile. The promise of these rewards makes every battle fought and every objective defended part of a meaningful story in the world of PAX Day. While the system of a feudal claims is designed with organized clans in mind, trade towns are built to support smaller clans and even solo adventurers. Yeah, good luck in this game as a solo adventure. We've also heard concerns about the risk of splitting existing communities, and we are exploring ways to minimize that impact while still staying true to the principles above. You also had several questions about future features, particularly regarding seasons. We're still in the process of finalizing the design for these, so we cannot share more details at the moment. Last but not least, in case you missed it, The valleys of Lyonesse bear the names of Arthurian legend Avalon, Brazilian, Carrick, and Corbin. If I'm mispronouncing one of those, please let me know in the comments. Once lush lands of enchantment, Lyonesse has become a realm scarred by warfare, its forests haunted, and its biomes corrupted. Many of its stories remain untold. Arthur is not the only soul bound to this land. Several redeemers have also walked its path. We know the complete PvP plans are pretty ambitious, and we'll make sure we don't design them in a way that leaves anyone behind. Please keep the feedback coming. Pax Vobiscum, the mainframe team. Alright, September 9th, 2025, 4 days later. Verse 4, Raiders of Lyonesse is coming on September 10th. We're thrilled to announce that the long-awaited Verse 4 is arriving on live servers very soon. Titled Raiders of Lyonesse, this new verse will be released as soon as tomorrow, September 10th. Okay, so it's already here. Let's get ready for some PvP content. The scheduled maintenance... Okay, new PvP map. We're making some big changes to the PvP zone Lyonesse. First of all, the whole zone is much bigger to support the new gameplay. There are several unique landmark locations in the form of ruined old cities, hinting at the province's rich history. We're also adding some new sites in the form of watchtowers, serving as the convenient places for you to repair your gear and craft some items. Since the new Lyonesse is so big and we wanted to make fast travel more consistent, we're now enabling fast travel within Lyonesse between the ruined cities and province gateways. The fast travel points exist as Petra Day in the four corner areas of Lyonesse, and you'll have to collect the fast travel points in each of these locations the same way as the Petra Day in other provinces. Beware, a bigger zone means more riches to find, but also more foes to defeat. Get your swords ready. For more detail, check out the dedicated article about the future of PvP. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Lyonesse, and then this is the bigger Lyonesse province. I remember it was only a small strip of land back when early access started. Alright, new resources in Lyonesse. To give each of you a good reason to travel to Lyonesse, we're adding 2 new unique resources you can only find in the PvP-enabled areas. Ambergrasp and Cannonite are very scarce in the area and sought after by Zabians patrolling in Lyonesse, so be prepared to be on the lookout for the residual harvesters collecting the resources on your behalf. The biggest spoils will be found on their bosses in PvP sites across the area. Okay, so I'm guessing these screenshots are it. Okay, enchantment. The new resources found in Lyonesse can be refined in the alchemy and jewel crafting skill trees and combined into sanctified oil, which comes in 4 tiers, ranging from plus 50 to plus 125 points of item power boost. The oil can be applied to any item with item power to permanently boost all the item stats. RP outfit. Not sure what to wear while wandering through your clan city, stopping by a nearby tavern, or just relaxing at home? We've got you covered with a colorful set of 36 wearable perfect for every laid-back occasion, and since pictures speak louder than words, here they are. Alright, so that looks good. Alright, UI updates. We're making changes to the item's icons, introducing a more visually intuitive system and making it easier to instantly recognize both the quality level and tier of an item at a glance. For more details, please see our dedicated article about the UI changes. Quality will now be shown in a gradient of color in the top half of the icon and also the segmented outer ring of the new symbol. Poor is dark gray, common is light gray, uncommon is green, rare is blue. Okay, the tier is indicated by the segmented inner ring of the symbol. Filled segments show the tier count. Alright. Additional UI visual changes are also being made to the style of the bonus display. Last but not least, the HUD now includes the biome and zone you're currently in. Oh, okay, so that's good. The visual presentation for the feature is not the final design and will likely be more discreet in a future update. Cosmos updates. We continue to improve the Cosmos, enhancing both the night sky and cloud rendering. We're also making some minor adjustments to image exposure and contrast. See you in game for more details. Revamped lobby and new character creator UI. We're creating a new lobby for the game to better fit its styles. More importantly, we're unlocking a whole range of new options to customize your avatar's face. You can now alter the shape of your character's facial features using sliders as well as control their age and skin complexion. Redness, backy. Okay. Alright, tutorial pages. The new lobby will feature a brief set of introduction screens for PAX Day. The screens are intended for new players coming to the game to give them more context on what PAX Day is about. We're sure you're as thrilled as we are with this back-to-school content update, and we can't wait to read your feedback on the dedicated channels. PAX Vobiscum, the mainframe team. Okay. September 10th, 2025. I believe that would... So that would have been the same day, right? Yeah. Oh, one day later. Alright, PvP Province Lyonese. The PvP Province has been redone and is now much larger. Add unique landmark locations such as ruined old cities to hint at the history of the province. Add new sites in the form of watchtowers, providing a convenient place for players to repair their gear and craft items. Fast travel is now enabled with Lyonese between the ruined cities and province gateways. Crafting and resources. Added 2 new resources exclusive to the PvP Province, Ambergrasp and Cannonite. Enchantment of gear. The new resources found in Lyonese can be refined in the alchemy and jewel crafting skill trees and combined into sanctified oil, which comes in 4 tiers. Oh wait, so that's okay. I built at the craft founders level. Fixed an issue where the same tier of potions with different durations building. Now we're fixed to give more support. All right. The building integrity. Okay, 2 granite. All plots owned by the characters in the specific server region are now shown to the player. Fixed snapping point on balustrade limestone pieces. Fixed snap point selection for several small objects. Reduce the amount of granite needed to build low walls. You can now set permissions to sell items at your market stall to the public. Revamped lobby and character creator. Create a new lobby. The new lobby includes screens are intended. Add new range. Alright, cool. Add a couple of tweaks. Adjusted character presets. Characters. Braids no longer behave erratically when approaching other players. Create an outfit mask and set the glove material double-sided to prevent some unsightly shadows. Fix an issue where Petrodate's inventory stopped looking correctly on the highest UI scale. Fixed an issue where ears were clipping through some head equipment. Alright. Revamp the tier and quality symbols. Quality is now shown. We added a notification to unlock a recipe by leveling up a skill. Fixed an issue where the find your friends on Discord text did not fit the frame. Fixed an issue with the moving items where split one would move the whole stack. Alright. Fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an... Okay, so a lot of issues got fixed. World visuals, yeah, okay. Localization, add localization, camera, yeah, that's cool. Audio and VFX, yeah, whatever. Okay, crashes, fix an issue with sign in Discord, yeah, whatever. Okay, known issues, combat state does not end when players are in combat, yeah, that sucks. Okay, blocking is not functioning when equipping a wieldable from the inventory. No issue when equipping. These impact all items that allow blocking. Okay, cool. Okay, building, not new. Bottom snapping point functionality is missing for multiple foundation building pieces, making construction alignment more difficult. World Lyonese, some resources and NPCs are on unreachable mountain peaks in Lyonese. Yeah, that sucks for you. A plank near some Empire ruins in Lyonese is clipping through the wooden platform. A road leading into one of the Inquisition locations is unnaturally shaped, creating impassable terrain. Oh, too bad for the people who need everything symmetrical. A demonic tree is present on the road in Lyonese and the Carrick area. The PvP watchtower and face underling icons are missing from the map legend in Lyonese. Stretched road textures appear in several locations on Lyonese Corbin Zone. The biome indicator graphic overlaps in Lyonese, misrepresenting terrain on the map. Some decorative pillars in Lyonese Avalon appear misaligned with the terrain and are floating above ground in some locations. Oh, well, yeah, it's going to be weird for some people. Okay, UI and HUD. Level requirements for wearables and wieldables are no longer displayed in the items tooltips. Open the... Oh, okay, so it's not that long. Open the construction hammer map. Briefly stacks all zone names at the center of the mini-map while it initializes. On higher UI scale settings, the equipment UI overlaps the HUD, obscuring health, stamina abilities. Character statistics can also be cut off. Oh, that sucks. The biome HUD tooltip background is not properly resized to fix text with specific biome names overlapping or being too close to the frame. Opening. Okay, whatever. I'm bored for this. Next! Tales of Lyonese lore from 4 days ago. Alright. Lay of Fair Lyonese. Green were the vales of Lyonese, shining with dew at dawn, apple and oak, and corn in sheaves, gold on every lawn. No man hungered in those days, nor child went lean with need, for there was set the cauldron fast that never failed of feed. They ate, they drank, they ate again, till bellies swelled with more. The gift was turned to glutton's curse, and spilled upon the shore. So feasting drowned the fair green land, the valleys sank away, and only waves keep memory now of Lyonnese's day. To the most reverend father, keeper of the keys. Be it known that certain specimens lately transported from the province of Lyonnese have been placed in the custody of the papal archivists for trial and discernment. The plant in question bears dark and thorn boughs, yet within them runs a golden sap that glows and hums with uncommon force. The learned masters have given it the name ambergris. The first examinations have yielded most favorable signs. Distillations of the sap did stir the air as though graced by a hidden breath, and when applied to relics of minor sanctity, the objects shone more brightly and seemed to answer to prayer with great fervor. In disputation, it was concluded that within this sap abides some portion of divine spirit, not unlike the virtue that clings to the bones of martyrs or the stones of ancient shrines. The masters are confident it may serve to fashion relics and artifacts or to lend new fire to miracles. Encouraged by these findings, the Arcanists humbly petition leave to establish an outpost with Lyonnese itself so that they may conduct their operations upon the field. They believe that by certain arts of soil and blessing, the growth of ambergris may be hastened and its yield multiplied. This officer recommended the request be granted for the gain of Holy Church and the discomfiture of her enemies. Signed and sealed, Brother Matthias of the Inquisition, faithful servant of the Holy See. Lay of Fair Lyonnese. Green was the veil, shining... Oh, wait, that was the same one. Oh, wait, yeah, that's the same thing, just in plain text. Oh, that would have been helpful. Alright, moving on to the next article. This was from today. Decommissioning the PAX Day launcher. Hello, Paxians. We wanted to share some important news for those of you who are using the PAX Day launcher to play. In the coming weeks, we'll be decommissioning the PAX Day launcher, which means you won't be able to access the game via the launcher anymore. To compensate for this, all founders currently using PAX Day will receive a Steam key later this week, granting access to the game on Steam going forward. All the founders' packs, including the Galleon Gargoyle received for purchasing through the official website, will carry over seamlessly. The Steam keys will be sent by email to the address linked to your playpaxday.com account, so make sure that it's up to date. For more information, please refer to our support article dedicated to the launcher decommission Pax Vobiscum, the mainframe team. Yeah, so the Xsola launcher is basically going to get decommissioned. Alright. Next, autumn content update. Hello, Paxians. This is also from today. We wanted to announce that we're ready to deploy a new minor content update for PAX Day, which will go live on September 25th. Maintenance will start at 10 a.m. Autumn Content release notes. This update introduces the new token system for plots, which we're currently testing. We want to thank you in advance for trying it out and sharing your feedback. To help you get started, a detailed tutorial has been added in-game that explains precisely how the system works. We strongly recommend going through it, especially if you're playing in a localized version, and letting us know if anything seems unclear. Plot management and tokens. When you log in after the maintenance, you'll be able to spend the plot tokens that you received according to the Founders Pack you purchased for early access. Be aware that some players may see more tokens than intended. This is a known bug that will be fixed at release. For early access, we decided to keep it in so you can experiment with more tokens for a little while. Important. Keep in mind the tokens are required not only to place new plots, but able to sustain existing ones. Overspending tokens on new plots could prevent you from renewing your current plots, so use them carefully. Placing a plot now creates a plot slot and consumes one token, and each token keeps a plot slot active for 1 month. By default, plot slots will attempt to renew automatically once their time runs out, consuming another token. You can disable auto-renew if you prefer to manage your tokens manually. If a plot is not renewed, it becomes frozen. A frozen plot cannot be rebuilt on, and if it isn't renewed within 3 days, and it will be automatically released. You can, of course, release a plot at any time, as the case before. New and free of charge after Thursday's maintenance will start only 3 days remaining. If you did not log in since August, you have not received any tokens yet. And in 6 days to ensure you get tokens and keep your plots active. If you do not log in to receive tokens after 6 days of inactivity following the maintenance, all your plots will be removed from the world and items will be redeeming queue. When a plot is removed, whether you release it yourself or it expires automatically, the remaining time on that plot slot is preserved, allowing you to reuse it for a new placement later. Tutorials, performance, yeah. Alright, so that pretty much brings us to the end of PAX Day. So now we're going to talk about some other stuff. So now we're going to talk about what I want to talk about Throne and Liberty. So guild alliance sizes in Throne and Liberty have been reduced from 4 guilds to 2. If I'm being honest. If another guild wants to contact me saying that y'all want to be allies and I like y'all, cool, we'll move forward, but I'm no longer going to be proactive and looking for guild allies. If I'm being honest, I got tired of just looking through all these different guilds and seeing which ones would even be viable, who would be willing to work with us, and I'm just done doing all the time and energy but not getting my return on investment. Hyper Boost servers are in Throne and Liberty now. I personally will not be playing it. I'm not even going to make another character besides the one I already have. There is a new orb weapon and a new Guardian Pledge. So, with the new Guardian Pledge, I did get a chance to actually get a demo for the orb weapon, but if I'm being honest, I didn't really care for it. I mean, I can see how other people would enjoy the orb weapon and the skills, but I'll tell you right now, it's not for me personally. Player housing has also come to Throne and Liberty. They've even added new skills like for mining, blacksmithing, and like logging and carpentry, all that. You get the idea. they basically just took all the PAX Day stuff and then put it in Throne and Liberty, but just for crafting and player housing, not base building. Yeah, so yeah, maybe some people would quit. Maybe some people will quit PAX Day, go to Throne and Liberty just for those life skill stuff, and then they're just gonna quit Throne and Liberty and then play some other game. Alright, so before we move on, I would like to say, I don't know how much longer we're going to be on Throne and Liberty. I feel like the game itself overall is dying. I feel like I just have a hard time getting the people on this game to take me seriously. I'm not shutting down the Throne and Liberty Guild anytime soon, but check back with me in probably about a year. We'll see how we're doing and how the game is doing. If I'm being honest, I'm not hopeful. And that raises the next question. What about Project E? Well, actually, hold on. I'll talk about Project E in some other... I may talk about Project E in some other video. Alright, well... Actually, hold on. I'll just go and talk about it now. So, NCSoft was developing Throne and Liberty, and they were so highly anticipating that Throne and Liberty was going to do well that they announced Project E, which is essentially going to be Throne and Liberty 2 before Throne and Liberty even released in Korea. And it's going to take place on a different part of the same planet as Throne and Liberty does, at the same time as Throne and Liberty, but on a different continent. So Throne and Liberty takes place on the continent of Silicium, but I think the planet is called North Korea. So Project E is going to take place on a different continent that's west of Silicium. But I mean, there have been rumors that Project E has been silently scrapped, but that's as far as I can find, that's just rumor and speculation. I cannot find anything from NCSoft that says Project E was going to be canceled. I honestly kind of was looking forward to Project E. It looked like this dark gothic Asian fantasy MMO. Like, oh, that looks pretty cool, but I guess we may never see there's a chance that we'll never see Project E. And even if Project E does come out, that raises the next question. Will we play it or not? Ask me that again in probably several years from now. Let's see. Chrono Odyssey has been delayed to Q4 of 2026. Continuation. Combat. Control notes. Feedback. PvP. World. I'll tell you right now. I'm not gonna read through all this. I mean, this video is already almost 25 minutes long, so I will have a link to this in the description of this video if you want to check it out. All right, Terrace Land is officially shutting down. To the surprise of literally no one. Okay, so I did play the beta before it actually launched. I was like, yeah, I'm just not really thrilled by this at all. The MMO Byte actually did a video with his concerns, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna have to agree with you. The planned termination date, so it's gonna come on September 4th or November 4th. You will still be able to play and enjoy the game. Use any existing in-game items until the termination date. Yeah, that. I'm just really not surprised this game is shutting down. Between poor game design, poor gameplay, the way they treated Spid, like the Spid MMO YouTube channel, I'm just really not surprised this game is shutting down. He really had a lot of hype for the game and did a lot of promotions for the game, and I saw how they were treating him. Like, wow. Just kind of, honestly, Terrace Land kind of shot themselves in the foot there. Your personal information is for a limited period of time where permitted by applicable law described in our plan. You may retain. Okay, so they're going to retain your personal information up to the point where law permits them. After this retention period, we will delete all your personal information except where we are legally required to retain it. Okay, well, keep in mind that's assuming they're telling the truth. They should be. I hope they are. We may retain your information during this period to fulfill legal obligations to you and other parties. For example, if you choose to exercise your data subject rights, if applicable, such as the right to request access to the personal data we hold about you, we will be able to respond to your request for a limited time period after we have terminated the game. In addition, we may be legally required to retain certain information about your transactions in game for a prescribed period. Your rights. You may have certain rights regarding your personal information, including the right to access, correct, or delete the information we hold about you. You may also have the right to receive a copy of your personal information or restrict how we use it. To exercise any of your subject rights, please contact us at dpo_terraceland at proximabeta.com. Please note that we will be unable to respond to your data subject request to the extent it relates to personal data we no longer retain. This means that once information has been deleted in accordance with our retention policy, we will be unable to fulfill data subject requests. Contacts and complaints. We appreciate you may have questions or comments regarding the notice of termination and what it means for you as a player. For general questions about Terrace Land, for questions relating to our personal data, please reach out. We are grateful for all your love and your continued support. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Best regards, Proxima Beta Limited. Alright, so that's that. Oh, and before I move on, I realized I didn't put a picture about this. Terra 2 was announced. It'll probably be, I'll tell you right now, we're not getting this game before 2030. But once it does come out, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see whether or not we want to play it. Alright, so I'm going to say real quick, there was another MMO that was launched yesterday. It's called Renown. It's a new indie PvP MMO, which I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to play this. But if you want to go in and check it out, all yours. Let's see. There's also this new Ship of Heroes game. It's yeah, as you might have guessed, it's a superhero MMO. And you can see how the reviews are mostly negative, and I'll tell you why that is. Because they were charging a box price and a subscription. And of course, players didn't feel like they were getting their return on investment. Like, people could literally go on Steam, get Final Fantasy XIV, charge with just a subscription, and then they feel like they're getting a better return on their money. Why would players go and risk their money on this game that requires both a box price and a subscription when they could take that same money and play games like Final Fantasy XIV when they know they're going to get their return on investment? So, Honestly, that's not going to be good. Where Winds Meet. This is another one that this is one that I'm going to be playing. I feel like this game is just going to be too big an opportunity. I feel like I just can't miss out on this. I mean, if we don't like it, we don't like it. Then we just won't play it together and we'll move on. I've heard that guilds in this game are going to be up to 100 people. So if you want a spot, please let me know it as soon as you can, and I'll try to reserve a spot for you. So this is their Steam page, and don't worry, that's gonna be it's gonna be 100 GB download. And this is their site. You can, yeah. So the pre-registration milestones. Feel free to pre-order the game. News. Let the wind carry your legend. Where Winds Meet is an epic, open-world action-adventure RPG rooted in the rich legacy of wuxia. Set during the turbulent era of 10th century China, you take on the role of a young swordmaster, uncovering forgotten truths and the mystery of your own identity. As the wind stirs across mountains and rivers, so too will your legend rise. Alright, feature an era on the brink, a hero will rise. Explore China's 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, where political intrigue, power struggles, and epic battles shape the course of history. From the bustling heart of the imperial capital to the hidden corners of forgotten wilderness, every path is layered with secrets, sights, and stories waiting to be discovered. Here, freedom is yours, but every action has its weights. Cause chaos, defy the law, and face bounties, pursuit, even time behind bars. Or walk a nobler path, befriend villagers, forge alliances, and grow your reputation as a hero of the wuxia world. In a world torn by chaos, become the spark that ignites the change and forge your legacy. Yeah, we've heard that plenty of times before. An open world of infinite possibilities, from bustling cities to forgotten temples hidden deep within emerald forests. The world flows with life, changing with time, weather, and your actions. Uncover thousands of points of interest, discover over 20 distinct regions, interact with diverse characters, and engage with numerous authentic activities in a world that teems with life. Explore ancient cities, reveal forbidden tombs, play flutes beneath swaying willows, or drink under lantern-lit skies. Master your way of wuxia combat. Build your fighting style to match your rhythm, whether you thrive in the heart of melee, strike from afar, or move unseen in the shadows. Choose how you engage and build a loadout that supports your playstyle. Take control of fluid, responsive martial arts combat built around classic wuxia weaponry, skills, and strategy. Wield weapons, both familiar and legendary, sword, spear, dual blades, glaive, fan, and umbrella. Switch between weapons, bows, and mystic martial arts like Tai Chi to outmaneuver your enemies. So, world video. Okay, so. Hold on, let's look through some of these. Okay, so this was I don't know if this. No, this is like the It kind of is like the terracotta soldiers and from Chinese history, but not really. They didn't pose like that, and they're not dressed like. I think those are dressed more like villagers instead of Chinese soldiers. Yeah, I can see statues, weapons. All right. I'll be honest there for a second. I thought that was the Trojan horse. All right. Yeah, leaves from the vine. It's probably like I'm guessing like a fishing ship. Alright, moon. Yeah, that looks, yeah. Asian stuff. Oof. The red moon. Alright. Stay one step ahead. Yeah. Alright, that's it for Where Winds Meet. And at almost 35 minutes, that's it for this video. If you have anything you'd like to say, please let me know in the comments. Have a corrosively wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video.